Is it really possible to stay present when there's so much uncertainty? What do you think? Well, we're going to talk about that right now on A Spiritual Remedy.
It's a spiritual remedy, a deep internal peace from the bondage of the self. I have found my sweet release. It affirms the life I'm living. It's the truth within my soul.
Welcome back, beloveds, to A Spiritual Remedy. My name is Sunshine Daye, and every week we spend a few minutes spiritually recalibrating, not by looking outside of ourselves, but by awakening to that indwelling presence already living as us. And here's the thing about uncertainty that I want you to get right off the bat. And that is, you have permission to not have all the answers. You have permission to not know exactly how everything is going to work out. And you have permission to stop trying to predict the future. Because what I've discovered after 39 years of recovery is that uncertainty isn't the problem. My relationship with uncertainty is. Your relationship with uncertainty is the challenge. Now, a few years ago during COVID, my beloved and I were in Costa Rica, and before we can fly home to the US, we had to receive a negative COVID test. And we had gone to the spot, taken our tests, and we were assured that we would get an email by the time we got to the airport. Well, there was only one problem. The email with my results never arrived. Now, if you've ever traveled internationally, you know that it isn't exactly the time. Like, that is never the right timing where you want technology to take a vacation. And suddenly, all of my imagining started going. My mind started writing stories. Where am I going to stay? How am I going to get back to the test site? What if everybody gets on the plane except me? My stomach had jitters. My heart was racing. My palms were sweating. My imagination had packed enough luggage for about a 3-month vacation. And maybe you've done that too. We create an entire future before the present moment can even finish unfolding. And then I remembered something that recovery and spirituality have been teaching me all along, that I didn't need to know what was happening next. I only needed to stay present for what was happening right now. So I prayed. And it's not that bargaining prayer. It's a trusting prayer, an affirmative prayer. And I affirm that only the highest and best was unfolding for all of us in that moment. I reminded myself that the indwelling presence was already where I was trying to get. And I became willing to listen instead of panic. That is what I now call frost, fully relying on Spirit's timing. So, here's today's spiritual remedy. Don't allow your imagination to take you somewhere your present moment hasn't gone. Notice your breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Place your hand on your heart. Ask yourself, what is actually true in this moment? Not what might happen, not trying to fear or predict the future. What is true right now? And eventually, my test results arrived and everything worked out. But here's what I cherish most about that experience. And it wasn't getting on the airplane. The greatest gift was discovering that I can remain present while I didn't know the answers and what was coming next. That is freedom. Beloved, maybe today you're waiting. Maybe you're waiting for a phone call, or waiting for healing, or waiting for an answer, or waiting for a relationship to change, or waiting for clarity. If that's you, You have permission to stop rehearsing every possible outcome. Instead, take a slow breath. Trust one more moment and remember that the waiting room is often the classroom of spirit. Thanks for spending these last few minutes with me. And if today's spiritual remedy gifted your journey in any way, share it with someone who is waiting on life today. And for more spiritual support, guided meditations, and resources for people in recovery, make sure you visit vidaslc.org. Until next time, when uncertainty knocks at your door, frost. Fully rely on spirit.
Found a spiritual remedy and the joy is real. Just surrender to the power, let it live as you. Everything you wanted finally coming true.